It's a cold, rainy day, and what better way to spend that than book shopping? We're gonna go to the bookstore. I'm gonna bring you with me. I've already been once, and I'm gonna do a book haul whenever I get back, showing you what I got last time and what I got this time. So see you soon. So I made it back, and I may have gone a bit wild as a person who primarily reads on Kindle now. I'm not really sure who I think I am, but I came back with a veritable stack. This is not even all of them. These are from my first visit, and then I did a second visit, and I'll show you all of them now, and we're gonna go through them together, okay? Because I thought that would be fun. So let's do that. All right, the first book that I picked up is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. This is one of my favorites. I've read this before. It's not even a really big book. I actually forgot how short it is, but I thought this was really beautiful. They're doing these sci-fi masterworks books, so they had some like William Gibson as well. I'd love to get a copy of Neuromancer, but I'm probably not going to reread it again anytime soon because I feel like I have to be in the mood to read Gibson books specifically. So I thought I would pick this up because I do love this and I really wanted to convince my partner to read it. If you are not familiar with Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, it is the novel that served as the basis for Blade Runner. They're not a one-to-one. It's not like the movie was exactly following the plot of the book, but it does follow a character called Deckard who is in a post-apocalyptic San Francisco, and his job is to retire, i.e. kill a bunch of androids. And there's a lot of kind of like existential questions. It's actually quite funny in places as well. I really, really love this, and I highly recommend it if you like cyberpunk or dystopian novels, post-apocalyptic stuff. And if you liked Blade Runner, I really recommend reading this book. It's super good, and I will probably reread it this year, and I'm really hoping I can convince my partner to finally read it because he's never read it before. Next up, I bought a book that I have never read before. Dune. I'm kind of bothered by the fact that it says now a major motion picture and it's not a sticker, so it can never be removed. I don't know why those bother me, but I've never read Dune before. I've never watched the movies, but I feel like as a sci-fi fan, I probably have to. So I've picked up a copy of Dune, and I would like to read this year as well as watch the movies. I want to watch the old ones, the original movie. I know there was a TV series, like mini series as well. I also know it's going to be wild. David Lynch did the first one, I think. And this is, I guess, one of those kind of quintessential sci-fi novels. I'm looking forward to it. I can honestly not tell you anything about the plot of Dune, except that there's sand and spice, which I think might be a drug, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm excited. All I know is the spice must flow, I think. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. It's a bit chunkier, but I think I should be able to get through it. I should be able to handle it. Also, I've heard that the like typeface is very small. It's not actually that bad. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, though, who do I think I am? I love holding a physical book, but I'm a Kindle girl now. I read on my Kindle because it's so convenient and I can read in bed without having to have a light on. And who do I think I am? But I'm hoping I can get through some physical books because I do enjoy sitting on my reading chair and looking out the window every now and then at the rain, because it's always raining in Northern Ireland, and just enjoying a book. The next one I have is a book from my to be read list. This book is called Bitterthorn by Kat Dunn. It's really beautiful. I think it's really pretty. Please excuse my lights reflecting on it. It is young adult, I think, but it's a sapphic, so LGBTQIA+, always a good thing, sapphic gothic fantasy, which I think that's a great combo. I'm excited. It follows a cursed town, I think, and there's a witch who lives in a castle, always good, and like every certain period of time she calls upon the town to give her a companion, and Mina, who I believe is the main character, is apparently just not very happy with the way her life is going and ends up offering herself up as the witch's companion. I'm excited to see how this goes. I think there might be a bit of romance, quite a light read despite the dark kind of setting, I guess, is what I'm expecting. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's really pretty. It actually says Kat Dunn has spun a love story, both intimate and epic. So this sounds great. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to reading it. I then bought 2 books from the same series. I have already read one of them. In fact, I've read 2 from the series, but I own the first and I've read the second and don't own a physical copy of it. So I owned and read Gideon the Ninth. I have also read Harrow the Ninth, but I read the copy on my Kindle. And I saw Nona the Ninth and I could not resist picking it up. So I decided to pick up a copy of Harrow because I didn't really want to have the first and the third book on my bookshelf and not have the second book. Does that make sense? And I kind of love that these books have this like staggered, this has a name. I don't know what the name of this is, but where like the front cover is not as like wide as the thing and it has like a second cover almost. So these books follow a necromancer, her swordswoman, and I have absolutely no idea what to expect from Nona the Ninth because of the plot that I cannot summarize without spoilers of Gideon and Harrow, but I'm really excited to read Nona the Ninth. The back says, her city is under siege, the zombies are coming back, and all Nona wants is a birthday party. It's gonna be funny. I know there are a couple people that I've spoken to who do not like the humor. I'm a big fan of the humor in the Locked Tomb series. So if you kind of like fourth wall breaking literature and you enjoy kind of memes and stuff, but also a slightly darker, more gothic kind of space setting, they're really good. And I'm really looking forward to reading Nona the Ninth. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how it goes. Then I went back to the bookshop because I could not help myself. And I have bought a couple of books here. I'm going to start with something that is a little bit different. I picked up a manga because they have like a manga section and they had Beastars Volume 1. I really loved the anime for Beastars. I don't know why. It just really hit all the right notes. So for anyone who's not familiar with Beastars, the anime was on Netflix and the manga, they follow the same story, obviously. It says, at high school, where the students are literally divided into predators and prey, friendships maintain the fragile peace. Who among them will become a Beastar, a hero destined to lead in a society naturally rife with mistrust? One night at Cheriton Academy, a herbivore student is brutally murdered. Among the members of the drama club, the herbivore's suspicions naturally turn to their carnivore classmates, the prime suspect, Grey Wolf Legoshi, on the front cover. But he wouldn't hurt a fly, or would he? Will dwarf rabbit Harrow bring out the beast in him, or are his feelings for her something else? There is this weird kind of like, is it romance or is it like a predatory interest because he's a carnivore and she's a herbivore? But I really liked the anime, so I'm kind of looking forward to giving the manga a try because I do enjoy manga. I don't, because it's so expensive to pick up all of the volumes of a manga, I usually don't end up finishing them. I have like the first arc of Bleach. I don't have any other, I have like a couple of editions of Tokyo Ghoul. I have some Black Lagoon, which is actually technically my partner's. I don't have a ton of manga, but I really wanted to read this. This was the only volume they had, so I picked it up and I'm going to give it a go and see what I think. On the same vein, I bought my partner a gift. This is beautiful and I'm going to show it to you. We're not going to flick through it too much, but I got this absolute beast of a book. It is the entire first arc, I think, of Berserk, which is an anime and manga. It's very dark. There is even a sticker on it that says explicit content, parental advisory. So I'm actually not going to flick through it, but as you can imagine, there's probably some stuff in here that's going to be a little bit sensitive for YouTube. I've never watched the anime because it is very dark and very heavy. I have, however, read a little bit of the manga. This is hefty, so I'm not going to hold it up for any longer, but I picked it up for him as a gift and I will also be reading it because, I mean, it's so cool. I just really like it. I like that it's a big hefty hardback, so that was a gift for him. The last 2 books I picked up were The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I am currently reading this book. It is by Becky Chambers. I have heard absolutely incredible things about Becky Chambers' writing. I have a huge love for sci-fi and space opera. This book also features queer characters and a very nice like found family kind of aspect. And it all takes place on a spaceship. They do occasionally go off and visit like other planets and stuff, but they're on a mission. They have a job that they're trying to do. There isn't really a main character, but the character that you're introduced to near the beginning is called Rosemary, and she has taken on a new job with this crew for this spaceship, and it's really delightful. The found family feelings are so good. The character interactions and the character development's really, really good, even though the plot isn't really like moving super fast. I am about halfway through the audiobook, but I saw the physical book and I just decided I had to have it. So I thought maybe I would read it at the same time because I've been doing that a little bit recently. And I will talk more about that in a second. And finally, I fell for a trap. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea when I'm going to read this book. I have no idea whether it's even any good. I have heard mixed things. I've heard really good things and I've heard really bad things. I don't know why it's so polarized, but I picked up Powerless by Lauren Roberts. It's just a pretty book. But the reason I picked it up, and this is why I fell into a trap, it has purple edges. There were so many copies of this book in the shop and only one of them had purple edges. So I fell for the trap and I bought it because I was like, am I going to regret it if I really love this book and I could have had one with purple edges and I didn't pick it up? I think so. And so I bought the one with purple edges. The description of the book is: only the extraordinary belong in the kingdom of Ilia. The elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Ilia and shunned from society. No one knows this better than Peyton Gray, an ordinary posing as a psychic to blend in with the elites. When she unsuspectingly saves one of Ilia's princes, Kai Azer, she's thrown into the purging trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elite's powers. If the trials and the opponents within them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will, if he discovers what Peyton is, completely ordinary. Be swept away by the first in an epic and sizzling fantasy romance trilogy taking the world by storm. I like a good tournament, I like magic, I like fantasy, I like romance, and I like the color purple. So sue me. I'm excited to read it anyway. I don't know when I'm going to get around to it, but it is on my to-be read list, so I was like, you know, why not pick it up? Why not have the pretty purple edges? I deserve that. Now back to the audiobook conversation. I've been doing this thing recently that I know some people on Book Talk have been talking about, where they do it specifically to read faster, but I'm not interested in specifically reading faster. I just want to focus better with reading, and I still struggle a lot with that. I get distracted super easily. So I've been doing this thing where I listen to the audiobook at the same time as reading, and I've basically set the time, so how fast the narrator is talking, to match my inner voice, I guess. So sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slower, depending on how fast the narrator talks. And I've been finding it helps me get through books more comfortably and retain more information, because frequently I will try to describe a book to someone, to a friend or to my partner, and I'll not retain anything. And I will literally just be like, it was good. Why was it good? I don't know. Vibes. But with this method, I've been finding that I'm so in the zone with the book in a way that I never have been before, that I've sat down on the couch after reading a book and I have told him the entire story from start to finish, and actually being able to describe events that happen in the book without having it be something where I'm like trying to dig deep into my brain, because I feel like I'm there. I'm like super immersed. So I've been finding that really, really useful. The only thing is, obviously, that means that sometimes whenever a narrator is particularly slow, I'm listening to them on like 3x speed. And then when they speak a little bit faster, I'm listening to them on 2x or 2.5, depending on how fast I'm reading with my eyes. When I listen to an audiobook, just because I'm listening to an audiobook, I obviously listen to it closer to 1.2, depending again on the narrator. But I think also neurodivergent people tend to have like a different pacing of their internal monologue. So maybe that's also part of it. I don't know. Either way, I'm finding it really useful for like staying super in the zone. I feel like I'm retaining a lot more information. I feel like I'm actually noticing things. And something I normally get into a really bad habit of is that I will read something and then I will go back and reread something because I got distracted, and I end up rereading bits of a page multiple times. So this way I'm actually not having to do that because I'm not getting distracted. So I'm reading everything once instead of 3 times. So that's what I'm doing with this book, because I am currently listening to it on Audible, and I'm going to probably try and listen to it and read the physical book at the same time. Again, I am more of a Kindle person now, just because it's more convenient. It's easier. It means when I finish a book, I can immediately move on to the next one if I want to. Having physical books, though, brings me joy. I like putting them on my shelves. I like looking at them. I like being able to pick them up and read through bits. I like being able to find bits that I want to reference to somebody. And one day, I would like to consider potentially annotating books. I don't know. What's your opinion on that? Because I'm curious. I know it's kind of conflicting. I'm not the type of person who will not break a spine. I will break a spine of a book if I'm reading it. I don't care about that. I try to protect it as much as possible, but I recognize that that's not always possible. So if the spine breaks, the spine breaks. These books in particular, the Locked Tomb series, they're very floppy books. So they're actually, it's really bad. But when I was like, look at how floppy that is. When I was reading Gideon the Ninth, I folded this over on itself. I was reading it. Books to me, and this is no judgment on you if you protect your books, books to me are made to be enjoyed, so I don't mind breaking the spines. But I understand people who read like this to try and make sure they crack the spine as little as possible. My partner's like that. I'm not. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Anyway, that was my trip to the bookshop, and I am sure there's going to be many, many more. If this is something you enjoyed, let me know, because I'd be really curious if you'd like to come along with me again sometime. Maybe we do a reading vlog or a book shopping vlog or something like that. I really enjoyed it. And it gave me a great excuse to go to the bookshop twice, because I went the first time and I didn't record anything. And I was like, I'd like to record a video. Maybe I'll just have to go again and then I'll have to buy more books. So if you like this, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy whatever you're reading at the moment. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you have any recommendations for me, because I'm always looking for more. Romantasy is my go-to right now, but I would also really love some sci-fi recommendations or a good manga if you have some ideas for that as well. Otherwise, have a great weekend. See you later. Bye.